input devices, and let us see what is input devices, or what are the input devices. So in short, it is the input devices are devices which enable us enter data into our computer. And which are these devices? Number one, we have a mouse. So what is a mouse? What is a mouse? A mouse, this is a device that lets you work with the text and objects on the computer screen. You use the mouse to you use a mouse to we use a mouse to double click, right click, click and drag and drop. So that is input devices. Input devices like a mouse. A mouse helps us to double click, to right click, to click and drag, and at the same time drag and drop. So for example, let's say that I want to right click here. So if I highlight this one and I right click like this, a drop down, this a certain box pops up with some information. So clicking is just double clicking like this. So you see, every time I double click here, it gets highlighted. So if we talk about dragging, so it means that you have something. For example, let's say that I have my image somewhere and I want to drag and drop it somewhere. So that is what we call moving a certain object from one place to another place, is what we call dragging. So now let us see mouse practice is. So let us continue with the keyboard. So as mouse practice is completed on the computer using the mouse practice file. So what do we mean? What do I mean here? More practice. The more you do the practice, the more you get to understand this item. So more practice, the more you practice, the more you understand these four uses of a mouse. So let's continue with the keyboard. Let us look at the keyboard. So we are saying that the keyboard lets you put text and numbers into the computer. The keyboard, it lets you enter text and numbers into the computer. The keyboard you see in the United States is called a QWERTY keyboard. How do you know that it is a QWERTY keyboard? The first letters here, when after on your keyboard here, you will find there QWERTY. So that arrangement means that that keyboard is in United States, uses the US language. So it was created by in United States. So that is the standard of United States keyboards. So find the letters QWERTY on your keyboard. That is where the name comes from. That is QWERTY. So that QWERTY word is originating from United States. So let's continue. There are special groups of keys on the keyboard. So the special keys on the keyboard here, I'm saying that your teacher will show you where they are on your keyboard. So we have character keys. In this, we have most of the keys that you use to type character keys. So keys that you normally use to type. For example, the character type keys. For example, we have letters, numbers, and punctuation keys. So letters run from A up to Z, and numbers run from 0 to 1. That is 0. Actually, 0 to 9. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then once we reach at 10, we don't have a key that is saying 10. Only you write the combination of 1 and a 0 to make it 10. Then we have punctuation keys, those keys with full stops, with commas. If you look clearly on your keyboard, you will see those keys, or what we call those character keys. Then we have number 2, backspace and delete keys. These two keys erase your text, or these two keys delete your text. So what do I mean by backspace? Backspace, it deletes characters. We have that key here on the keyboard, directly on delete key, where there is numlock, where there is equal signs. On those, there is a certain key named backspace. It is having an arrow facing to the right, so facing to the left. So that key which is facing that key with an arrow facing to the left, and it is named backspace. So that key deletes characters when moving to the left. It deletes characters when moving to the left. For example, let's say that I have this keyboard and I want to delete these characters of the word keyboard. So if I press backspace, it removes characters when moving to the left. So let's continue. We are having what we call a delete key. Also delete key. For example, let's say that I highlight this word and I press delete. Do you see? It deletes a block of text. So let's continue. And look at the navigation keys. These keys help you move in your documents. They include space, enter, tab, directional arrows, home, end, page up, page down, etc. So all those keys, these ones we are finding, they are called navigational keys, meaning that you can navigate or you can move through your work. For example, this key we are having here, the arrow keys, if I press the arrow, it will take me up. If I press this one, it will take me down. You see how my text is moving to the down. So in this, we are having another type of keys, and that is the modifier keys, or this one, modifier keys. These keys, for example, we have CTRL. What is CTRL? That is control. Then we are having another key named shift, and another one named caps lock. So caps lock, you see on your keyboard there is a certain key which is caps lock. So we use caps lock in case we want to change from small letters to capital letters. So control in case you want to perform a certain operation. So that is when we use those keys. Then we are having what we call function keys. These keys do special things depending on your keyboard. You will not use the function keys for typing text. So function keys, they don't help you when typing. For example, we have them here. F1 running, they are actually on the top near where we have the power button, that start button or the power button. So they are named F1 up to F12. So they are called functional keys. They are used to perform specific functions or specific purposes depending on the user needs. So for example, like they are used whenever you are installing Windows, whenever you want to change settings as an administrator. So you use functional keys. So let's continue and look at it. So we are saying that keyboard practice is completed on the computer using the keyboard practice file. So in this, I'm talking about that this work can be, you can learn more this if you do practice using your keyboard.